Hello, welcome back to the Just Breathe podcast. And today we have the lovely Mimi, and I'd like to introduce her. She is a trauma-informed therapist specializing in work with women and couples. She's a certified master NLP practitioner, a couples and family counselor, and a therapist with integrative body-mind-based method that we're going to discuss today. Some tools to help with stress. I know, Mimi, welcome. I know we all want to
Hi.
hear from you.
Hi, Shibolet. Nice to meet you.
So good to meet you.
And
Thank you for
I
coming.
hope I'm going to be able to give the right answers today.
Bezrat Hashem, the right
Dankeschön.
or, something that can help our listeners to have some tools through stressful times, hopefully not coming up, but there is some talk of the US and Iran getting fired up. And not that we're not used to this in Israel, right? It's been an interesting couple of years. What could you tell us a bit of some simple body-based tools that people can use in the moments of acute stress and fear during ongoing tension?
Okay, sure. So first of all, I'll start and I'll say that English is not my first language. So I'm going to try my best. If I'm going to get stuck for a second, then I'll try. Maybe I'll just change a little bit to a tiny bit Hebrew, but I'll try my best in English. But it's not going to be as fluent as a native speaker. Um, so first of all, I have to normalize the fear and stress. To feel fear and to feel stress these days as Jewish in general, Jewish people, but especially as Israeli Jewish people, this is normal and natural to a very not normal situation. Okay, there is something that is called a normal reaction to a not normal situation means that if in normal life, when everything is absolutely okay, we'll feel fear and stress out of nowhere. That might feel sometimes not normal. But these days here, and I'm not even talking about these days now when we are getting ready for Iran attack, we're talking about the last 2 years and even more that Jewish people are living their not normal life. So these reactions are normal and very natural. So I'm telling it to all the listeners and also to myself, because we are all getting sometimes into stress and fear. So that's something that I have to say. I'll also say, how does stress behave? So when we are in a situation of stress or fear, our body will always behave in another way. The body will speak, but each person is going to behave differently. And also each stress or each panic attack is going to change. Even if it's like looking the same, it's going to change by the level of the stress. If I'm a little bit stressed, and let's say I have some maybe nauseous, then it's going to get sometimes even stronger when I'm very stressed. So that's something that we need to know. The stress behaves in different ways. Some people will feel like it's hard for them to breathe now. And sometimes we breathe like a dog breathing, very short breaths, which are not enough for us. And that's puts our body and our muscles in a different, like they're stressed and they can catch sometimes. How do you say it? I'm not sure. Like shririm tfusim.
Right,
Our
the
body can.
muscles get tightened.
Right, right. That could happen. We can have headaches. We can feel dizzy sometimes. We can have stomach pain. That's something that people many times feel. Many times people feel like they have to run to bathroom now, like every second moment. That's all normal. That's all reactions for stress and fear. And we also need to understand what's the difference between fear to a panic to stress. So fear is a reaction for something that happens right now, a danger that happens right now. Let's say now I got just the alert in my telephone that in a few minutes we're going to have a siren. Or now I'm just walking on the street and suddenly I see a snake in front of my face. That's a danger that happens right now. And fear will have to happen then. And the fear is there actually to protect us. When we are afraid, this is a part of our like it's a part of our emotions that is there to protect us. So we know what to do right now. There are these three FFFs, which is fight, flight, and freeze. These are three ways of people to react for fear. Could happen to a siren, could happen to simple things. Okay, my child is about to fall. Okay, and I see that it's happening. That's my fear at the moment. I'm afraid of something that is might happen right now, and my body is going to react differently. What is panic attack or any stress? That's something that is going to behave like fear, but it keeps happening even after the danger has passed a long time after the danger has passed. But also fear can happen from something that I imagine that some might happen. Like now, I'm in Israel. I imagine, and my thoughts are going that maybe Iran is going to attack in, I don't know, an hour or two. My emotions are getting ready. The ways of sometimes this way is going to behave like an attack, a stress. So that's the difference between fear to stress to panic attacks to panic in general. Um, so I'm going to give now some tools of what we can do when this stress is coming from nowhere. So we have a few options. There is this breathing option that we are counting 4, 4, 6 or 4, 4, 4. It's up to how easy it's for you. Like, I don't want it to be too easy because I want it to focus on the breathing, but I don't want it to be too hard. Okay. I'm not going to ask you to count 6, 6, 6, 6 when you're now ready to count 4, 4, 4. What do I mean? I mean that we need to imagine, like in our bottom of our belly, we have a balloon that we want to blow out. So I'm going to take one long breath from my nose. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I'm going to fill up. I'm actually blowing with this breath. I blow the balloon in the bottom of my belly. You can touch your belly to feel like it's getting blown. And then you stop breathing for 4 seconds. Like you take the breath from your nose for 4 seconds, you stop breathing for 4 seconds, and then you bring it out from your mouth 4 seconds. I'm just going to show it how it behaves so people can understand what I'm talking about. I'm going to do it with my fingers so we can understand. So I'm going to take now a deep breath from my nose, and then
Right,
I
so I
stop my
just
breath.
I just want to say for there's going to be listeners also on Spotify and Apple Music that aren't going to see video. So just for the listeners that don't have visual reference right now, Mimi's counting on her fingers to 4 seconds, right? So you're breathing in for four, holding for four, and out for four. This is called a box
Exactly.
breath. It's called the box breath.
Yeah, so that's something we can do like 3 or 4 times while I'm in the stress. That helps. If you have the option, okay, if you're not in your mamad at the moment and you have an option to just stand out of your house in the marpeset, in the porch, or out like to just open the window and to feel the fresh air from outside, that's even more helpful. But if you're in the mamad, then it's okay to do it also like this. That's very helpful. That's one way.
Right. I
Another
just want
way,
to, sorry, Mimi, sorry to interrupt. I just want to add something there that you did in the beginning mention that you could breathe out for six. Breathing out longer is going to send a message to the nervous system to calm down. So you mentioned the fight, flight, or freeze. The box breath I find is very helpful with fight and flight because you have this energy that wants to move and do and release. So the box breath I find with fight and flight helpful because we're getting the air through faster. With freeze, on the other hand, I do find that the six out is more helpful because we want to let some release into that frozen state. Um, the six longer, so breathing out for six. And again, if you don't count, that's also okay. We might not have the patience or focus to be able to count. If you focus on your breath alone, that's enough of a helpful tool. If you,
Right.
yeah, yeah,
That's true. That's true. Though I have to say that when you're counting, your mind is now busy with something else. Now I'm busy with counting. I'm not just breathing, I'm also thinking about my counting, which makes me think about one more thing, except what's going on, except the fear, except the reason that I'm afraid of.
exactly.
So
Yeah, I love
it's
that.
good.
Thank you.
Doesn't have to be, but it's good. It's good to think about the
To get your
numbering.
mind, yeah, get your mind off what you're being afraid of.
Yeah, yeah. So that's one option. That the breathing is very good there when you're stressed or you're a panic attack or your panic is not in a very high level at the moment. Because sometimes when we are very, very stressed, it's a little bit harder for us to breathe. Try. If it doesn't work, we have a few other options. One more option is to put one hand on one shoulder, like the right hand you put on your left shoulder, and the left hand you put on your right shoulder, and then you're starting to tap easily and just like a butterfly for like 25 seconds. You do it like this. I'm showing here for the people who see the video. We're doing it very gently. You don't do it strong. You do it gently because you don't want to tap yourself strong because the inside of you is very strong already. You just want to come from a very gentle place. So you do it slowly, 25 seconds, and then you stop and you take a deep breath. And then you can start doing it over again. Right, left, left, right, and then you do it for 25 seconds and you stop. That you can do also for 3 times. It's very good for the very, like, let's say I can find it really working well when you're running to the mamad, when there is now a siren, you're running to the mamad, you do it right away when you get in. It's just calming you down, especially when you do it very gently. You just touching
Sorry to
yourself.
interrupt, Mimi, sorry to interrupt. Just to add to that, that's a really beautiful thing to do with children. And yes, it is called the butterfly hug. And the reason, the science behind it, why it works is your left and right, you're doing bilateral taps, very slow. That's the key. And you're getting your brain to connect the left and right sides, and that brings grounding down to your body. So that's a lovely tool. Thank you.
Great. And I have two more tools. Another tool is we should understand that this fear or this stress is actually one part of our emotions. We have so many emotions. We are made of so many pieces. This is only one piece that right now is coloring all the pieces in black, but it's only one piece. And we can talk to it. We can talk to it. We can imagine like we have an orchestra of so many players, but you are managing. You're managing the whole thing, and you're having so many strength in yourself that you can actually manage. But there's one moment that the fear is coming, and he is behaving really bad, and he's shutting up everybody, and he doesn't let anyone to say his word or any other player to play his melody. But at the end, you can control it. You can manage this player of fear. So talk to him and tell him, you're just one part, you're just one piece of everybody. And I know, I understand you're afraid for a very good reason. It's normal to be afraid now, but let's see, how can we do it better? How can we bring the other pieces of self-control, the other piece of happiness, the other piece of brave to be? How can you be brave? Sometimes you're brave in other places. The other piece of emuna, and let's just talk all together. How can we help each other? Because I can understand this is a reaction of my body. This is a reaction of my body for a very normal reason, but it's just one piece. It's just the piece of the fear. It's just the piece of the stress, but it's one piece. And we all can work together. That's another way. Just talk to ourselves. You can talk even loudly.
So I just want to add, thank you, Mimi. That's beautiful. I love that you said to talk to your fear, and it's not something that most people are used to. And I just want to add one little tool, variation on that, talking to your fear. I like to put my right hand on my heart. So if we could see what that looks like for the viewers on Spotify that are only listening. So you take your right hand and put it quite high, close to your neck on your heart. There's an acronym for this tool. It's called HEAL. It's H, hand on heart, E, emotion. So you say the emotion out. So let's say it's fear. So right now I'll say out loud fear. A is allow and access what it feels like in your body. So maybe fear is tightness in my chest. Maybe it's tension in my jaw. Maybe it's my stomach's pinching, right? So I allow it to be in my body as a physical sensation. And then three of those beautiful breaths that we spoke about in the beginning, the first tool, four in. With freeze, I prefer not to hold, and then six out. So four in and then six out, two or three of those breaths in the A part. So you give it 90 seconds to be in your body. And then L, the L part of heal, is really release, let go, open up your arms, stretch out, do a little shake, a somatic shake in your shoulders, your neck, your head. Fear is an emotion that Hashem gave us. We're allowed to feel it. It helps us. It saves us from some situations. It's a good feeling. It's something that we need to feel as humans. It doesn't feel good, but it is allowed to be there. So allowing it 90 seconds and it will pass. Talking to it, right? So you said speak to your fear. What does fear want? Maybe it wants warmth. Maybe it wants a blanket. Maybe it wants a hug, right? And maybe your little one is sitting on your lap and you're saying to them, what will help you feel safe. Safety is the arch nemesis of fear. They're enemies. So if you can bring safety into your space in the mamad, in wherever you are, that will quieten the part of fear that's trying to scream out and take over, right?
That's true. That's true. And then we have the last very big tip, which is grounding.
Mm.
I call it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and I use it a lot in my clinic. And that's what does it mean? Five means let's find five things that we can see around us now. Okay, look for five things you can see. Then four things that you can feel or touch. Let's say you're sitting on a chair now, you can feel your chair touching your body, but you can also touch your chair and you can touch your telephone now, you can touch your child, something that you can touch or you feel. Then three things that you can hear. Okay, you can hear now even the air conditioner. You can hear it. Try to listen. You can hear the birds from outside. Three things to hear, then two things to smell. What can you smell? And we can sometimes even smell our own perfume, the child, I don't know, any other things. And then one thing to taste. That sometimes people will taste the last thing they ate. So that's grounding, very important. And this is something that we want to remember. Let's say if you have to run now to the mamad, which is the biggest thing that happens, life in Israel now, write it down on a note in the mamad, hang it. So you have it there so you don't have to remember everything you can do. Because when you are under this stress of running to the mamad, you'll definitely not remember what you need to do now.
Absolutely.
Maybe the
I
breathing.
love that you've added that. Thank you. Because your mind goes offline. The front of your mind, the thinking prefrontal cortex goes offline. And it's a very helpful tip. What you just said is to write it somewhere in the mamad so that you can remember these tools.
And I have to say that I work with it, but still I am not very sure that I am going to remember when I have to run to the mamad. I have written it in my mamad. It's hanging in my mamad into the cupboard so we can see it whenever we need to see it because I'm not sure that I'll remember. and I work with it and I live with it every single day with my patients. And still, this is something that it's better to remind ourselves. So, all these tips, and there are even more tips. There is the safe place, if you know it. Safe place means close your eyes and imagine what's the place that makes you feel the most safe. For once, it's going to be the beach. For another one, it's going to be just my bed with my blanket. That makes me feel safe. This is also something, close your eyes and imagine it like it's for real here and right now. This is one last tip that I have. And yes, write it down, put it in your mamad because it's really helpful.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you. Thank you for those. Those are great tips. So just to summarize, we have the breath that we spoke about. We have the butterfly hug, which is a lovely tool, which your kids can for sure do along. That's a lovely one. We have the talking to your fear and the heal tool that you can put your hand on your heart and calm that part that's feeling afraid. And we have a resource or using your visualization or imagination to take you to a happier place, or the 5 4 3 2 1, using your senses to ground. Touch, you could have a teddy bear for your child. It brings us to then our next question is how to help children to calm themselves in this situation. And all those tools you've said are very helpful. And we can use language for children like blowing a balloon, smelling a flower, holding a teddy bear for the softness, for the resource of grounding. And those are all really wonderful tools. Those are during a time of stress. I'm wondering if we could add, we just have like a few minutes left, and unfortunately we're quite short today, but it's fine. This is very helpful and to the point. I'm sure we'll talk again, Mimi. I very much enjoyed talking with you. So I'm sure there'll be
Me
a
too.
round,
Thank you.
a round two, part two of this, and three. So the tools after the stress has calmed down and the threat seems to be gone. That I think comes up a lot with my somatic work is that there's a charge left in the body that people need to release. And some beautiful things to do with children, especially, is to crawl around like a tiger on all fours, roar, pretend that you're in a fight, attacking each other, and get out that fight energy, that flight energy, run, jump, swing, any of those that get your body to move in a rhythmic way. Freeze is a hard one. I struggle with freeze a bit. It can be quite difficult. Freeze needs very small micro movements. Even if you can just sweep your house after the siren and after everything's passed, slow, calming movements. Is there anything you want to add to those for after the
So
threat?
that I have to say it again and maybe even again and again and again. It's very natural and it's very normal to feel the fear, even as an adult, even when you have your own children that they trust you. You are a normal human being, and it's okay to be afraid, and it's okay to be freezing. People are sometimes, no, not even sometimes, many times, people are judging themselves for freeze at the moment. This is a very natural reaction. If you wouldn't be, then you wouldn't be into the FFFs. This is a very natural reaction, and we can always try to work on how can I help myself the next time, not freezing, but not judging myself for freezing, because most of the people froze at least once
I
in their
love
life
that.
when
I
they had.
love that. Thank you for adding self-compassion. Yes, we really need self-compassion right now. This is not an easy thing that any of us are going through. We've gone through at least 2 years of war, and whether we have international listeners in Australia, what they dealt with Bondi, and South Africans deal with stress in their own way. Stress is something that is part of many people's lives, sadly. And you're right. Self-compassion, offer yourself self-love. It's okay that you're afraid. It's okay that you freeze. What can we do after? What can we help ourselves to come out of that normal nervous system state that we have gone into, fight, flight, or freeze? Beautiful, beautiful to add the self-compassion. And then the final thing, just ending off, is what can we do daily practices to avoid stress from building up? Because I find that these beautiful tools that you spoke about can be done even when we're not stressed. I like to tell my clients, teach my clients that every day we should have a daily maintenance of resetting our nervous system, resetting our stress. Grounding can be done every single day. While you're driving, you can ground. While you're cooking, cleaning, you can use all these beautiful tools to calm your system, to reset the stress buildup so that it doesn't overwhelm your nervous system.
Right, right. And also talk about it. If you feel the stress during the everyday, bring it out of yourself in a word way. What's mean word way? You can talk, just say it loud. You can write it down. These days we have the chat GPT. Just write it to the chat GPT. It's not gonna judge you.
Oh my goodness,
Just
I
bring
can't believe you brought that up.
we
ChatGPT
just
is
need
taking over too many things.
right, but if you feel like you need to bring it out of yourself, just bring it out in any way. But it's always good to bring it out in some way of words, not just to keep it in yourself. Words can be in any way, writing, saying, shouting, any other way. Just bring it out of yourself. If you have a fear, say it.
I
Say it.
love
Just
that. I
don't
love
keep
that.
it in yourself. And I would say try to find your new hobby. What can you do every day, even for 5 minutes a day? It could be sports. I have to say that for me, it's actually drawing. I found myself loving drawing. 5 minutes a day, you don't need to have it more than that. Just find your space of the space for the things that are doing good to you. Sports is a great thing. Sports is a great way. If you're not into sports, then any other thing that makes you calm down and
Right,
say
right,
your
right.
fear. Just bring it out of yourself. Don't keep it in there because it's just gonna add and add and add and add, and then it's gonna explode. So just bring it out whenever it's there.
Thank you, Mimi. Wow, I so enjoyed talking with you. That was beautiful. I hope it helps someone. If it helps you and someone that's listening and you could share it with a friend, we'd appreciate that and get people to be a community and help each other and we can get through this and we have before. Really just those tools are beautiful during the stress event and even after and before to keep your body flowing and moving. Flow is the key. So, walking, art, music, any of these resources that can help you calm yourself after the event or before. Thank you, Mimi. I love to give a little brocha to our listeners. Would you like to share a brocha at the end?
Um, I just believe in you guys. And
Oh,
I believe that each person has his own strength. And I truly believe that everybody have their own light to bring out to the world. So I give you bracha that you'll find your way to use your strength and to use your light because you have your own light that no one else has. Bring it out. Just
I
bring it
love
out to the
that.
world. The world needs it, especially we, the Jewish people, we just need each other's light.
I love that. Amen. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Just to add to that, exactly what we needed to hear that we believe in each other, we believe in our strength, and we've done this before. The Jewish people are not, new to knowing this kind of stress, and please God, Hashem will get us through it. You mentioned Imuna, that's a beautiful one. I think that's my bracha for today. I really just wish for everyone to have Imuna in knowing that Hashem's looked after us before and He will again. And these beautiful tools are knowledge that are coming to all of us to be helpful. And please God, we should just be strong and even if you're not, self-compassion and to get through it together. Thank you, Mimi. Take care.
Thank you, Shibolet.
Bye
Thank you very
bye.
much.
Bye bye.